Hello and welcome. My name is Carl Dirks with Lancaster Seed Sales. Today we are going to be discussing the results of our in-field testing with Pivot Bio Proven 40 on our local test plots here in Lancaster and York counties. Now before we get into our trials from this summer, I'd like to give a brief explanation on how Pivot Bio works. So this season it was applied strictly in furrow. This upcoming season we also have a seed treatment version as well. But how that works is we apply microbes in furrow or on the seed, and they adhere to the root system. And they quickly form a relationship with the root system. From then on, the byproducts released from the roots, called exudates, support colonization of the microbes, and they give the microbes the energy they need to fix atmospheric nitrogen. So Pivot Bio is using nitrogen already in the atmosphere. And how that works with the plant relationship then is it creates nitrogen the whole growing season, but mostly from that V5 to the VT stage is when we get the most benefit from the pivot, when the plant needs it the most. And at the end of the season, as the exudates start to decrease, the microbes die off because they don't have enough exudates to support their life, and then the life cycle is then over. Summer in-field testing. We are going to give a brief description on how the test works. So what we're doing is we're measuring plant nitrogen in field. The test is called the Reese-Nevins test. It was developed by people at Pivot Bio to speed up the process that we can do these tests. Instead of sending tissue samples out every time we do one of these, now we can do all the testing in field and get instant results. How the test works is we pull 6 plants from each side of the field, one with the proven 40 on it, and the other one was the unapplied check. We then pull the plants out, and we use this little chlorophyll meter here, and we test the leaves for the chlorophyll concentration on each leaf. We then weigh the plants for biomass, and we enter all this information into the app, and it gives us the estimation, percent increase, decrease in nitrogen, as well as biomass. Here are some of our testing results from this summer. First field we're going to highlight here is in Elizabethtown. It's on Doug Walgamuth's farm. As you can see the setup here, the blue strips are the untreated check strips with no Pivot Bio on them. The orange ones are with water, so there is no conflicting data with starter. We've just applied straight with water. As you can see in this map over here, we have the side dress application, about 13.5 gallons of 30%, which is the equivalent of 40 pounds of nitrogen. And these passes split these passes here, so we get an even split here for our check strips. Here are some of the results from these tests. Plant biomass, we had a significant increase, as you can see here. And on the leaf chlorophyll side, we had a good increase there as well. How that equates out is plant biomass increase of 31.7%, a chlorophyll increase of 9.5%, and a total available nitrogen advantage of 27% in these plants. I would like to say that this field had an even amount of nitrogen applied. At side dress, 40 pounds, and it did get a good rain. What little rain we did get this year did rain the nitrogen in shortly after it was applied, so it should have been available to the plant. Here's another test we did in field. I believe this was in York County. You can see the biomass increase in this plant is very visible. You can also see the ear development on this plant is quite better than this plant over here. Here's another picture from that same test. These ears are much more developed and consistent than the ears here on the left in the untreated check. What we have been noticing this year is a growth stage advancement in corn with Pivot Bio on it, usually half to a full growth stage ahead. And the reason there's only 4 ears on this side is these 2 ears were too small to pull yet. We're basically non-existent. Now here on the left we have our overview of we had about a dozen trials we did this year and tests we did. About half of these were with manure and a heavy manure history on the ground, and the other half were mostly commercial fertilizer, and very similar results on both. And that was one big question that was raised early on when we were looking at this product. Will it have the same effect in heavy manure ground as non? And so far, the answer is we do have the same effect. Here's this graph blown up a little bit. As you can see, we did a couple different tests at different stages. Early on, from V4 to V10, we got a 15.9% increase in available nitrogen. In the V11 to VT stage, we got a 29.9% increase. In R1 to R4, we got a 15.3%. Here's the biomass as well. Early on, we had a 15% increase in biomass. By V11 to V10, we got a 34% increase in biomass. And at R1 to R4, we got a 35% overall increase in biomass. Where this is a good thing is in the silage world, we're getting an increased yield off of biomass in silage plants consistently, which is very appealing. So what are some of the advantages of Proven 40 over synthetic, and why would you choose to use it? Cost. Currently the cost is cheaper than synthetic nitrogen, and the price of this product is the same as it was a year ago. Plant health. Consistently healthier plants and growth stage advancements we've seen throughout the growing season this year. Safe. It's a bug, it's not nitrogen, it's easier to handle, it's not sticky, and it doesn't burn when you get it on your cuts, and it's very easy to use. Consistent. Can't wash away, can't leach out of the ground once it's been applied, and also can't volatilize or be too dry for the product to work. Once it is applied properly and in the soil, it is with that plant throughout the growing season. Spreads out your risk. You're not solely relying on one form of nitrogen to provide your plant with all its needs through the growing season. We're consistently seeing biomass increases, which will lead to silage yield advantages, which we'll have more data on that in the weeks to come. Environmentally friendly. As we all farm in the Chesapeake Bay watershed here, it should help us get ahead of some of these regulations as far as how much nitrogen and when we can use it. That looks to be coming down the pipeline in the next few years. And it's easier logistics. Just for an example, on a 500-acre farm, it would equal to 6,500 gallons of 30% that you don't have to handle in a growing season. I would like to highlight a new option for the application method of Pivot Bio this season. As you know, last season, the only way to get this into your fields was through a starter system on a corn planter, applied in furrow, either with starter or with water as a carrier. As a lot of people don't have starter systems on their corn planters locally, we now have the option of a seed treatment that we apply to your corn seed. It is the same product and the same bugs, just a different application method, so it still provides you with 40 pounds of nitrogen throughout the growing season. This is a product that's been in the works for a while with Pivot, and they've done 2 full years of testing now on it, and have the utmost confidence that it's the same exact thing, just a different application method. This is a service we will be providing this upcoming season to make your lives easier in the application process of this. And with that, I would like to highlight, we are now also in the selling season for Pivot Bio. And here is a price breakdown of each product. Here's the in-furrow, the original, and here is the on-seed version. Now you can see the on-seed starts a little higher, just because we do have the application cost with the treater. The incentive programs for both products are the same. There's a $4 acre incentive. If you buy the product for your whole farm, you get a $4 an acre off. If you commit before the middle of December, there's another $3 an acre off. There's a $2 an acre early cash incentive that I believe is paid by January, or in January, sorry. And also what's not shown here is a $1 off an acre early incentive, which is an early commitment here within the next 2 weeks. So that would get you down to $20 an acre for the in-furrow version and $24 an acre for the on-seed option. If anyone has any questions, by all means, feel free to contact me, and we will see you soon. Thank you for joining us today.